It's so beautiful. We're in Morgantown, West Virginia, and it has charm to the max. It's like a resurging town from what I can gather. Lots of fun things going on, lots of students, but we're here for something different.
Caleb has graduated. High five. High five. Hey, I don't want to come off like I'm too excited, all right?
I'm not excited about the fact that he's supposed to go on to his next endeavors, but I'm so excited that we're done with school.
Oh, totally, yeah. So we wanted to share with you Caleb's experience in high school, which is non-traditional.
No, but fabulous.
Really, really great options.
Can't say enough great things about his experience.
And so the reason we thought a video or an episode like this was important is because there's a lot of people within the KYD community that I think would value a different approach to high school that's still accredited and still all about your child.
And we're just going to share our experience. We have no connection with any of the schools our kids went to, but we have had 3 totally different experiences.
I'd like to thank Sunhills for allowing me to go online for the past 2 years, and for my parents to be able to take me everywhere and give me so many amazing experiences, along with all of my friends and family who have supported me this entire time. Thank you.
And so this one we wanted to just dive in a little bit and share with you some of the things we've learned. Okay, so here's the deal. This video is not for everyone, and we considered not even making it and just zooming past the whole subject altogether. But the truth is, this is going to help a handful of families, and it's super important because it will change the trajectory of someone's life. And it sounds dramatic, but it's totally true because we're talking about education, and it's a big piece of the RV life, of whether people decide to go RVing or not go RVing, is making sure that their kids get what they need. Hi, Sandy. Oh, you're awesome. It's so great. Hi. It's so good to see you. So nice to meet you. Yes. Caleb. Oh my. Throw this puppy on.
Wait a second. Today I ask you, not what you have accomplished, but what you will accomplish. When you look into the horizon, you may see something, a vast ocean, if you will. The vast ocean goes as far as the eye can see, but it's what you define how far the eye can see is how big the ocean is.
Congratulations, guys.
Wow. Thank you.
Congratulations.
Great thing. No, I think we open it up like, it's in there. It's all good.
This video is going to be about Caleb's experience at an online school and some of the emotional decisions behind it and what are the benefits. But if you want to dive into a real homeschool video, we did one of those. We'll link it. I don't know where. Mark knows where. We'll link it.
Yesterday, when we went through Caleb's graduation commencement process and we heard the students speak, it became so clear to me that school, if you're traveling with a family, school is a big part of RV life. Figuring that out. It's big, right?
It's so big. It's a big piece of the pie.
And we never really, mostly Trish, you never want to be in charge of the school's curriculum. You didn't want to go through a homeschool program where you actually had to create the curriculum.
Yes, well, you know, in elementary school, middle school, there's fundamental building blocks, and I feel like they're very clear. And then you get into...
I was capable of doing that part. I was good up until about the 3rd grade, and then we needed to bring in some
We need to bring in some tutors. So anyway, but I started getting really nervous in the preamble to college applications. Will they be ready? Where are they going? What are their dreams? Because that is really what we feel our role is. Like, how do we help put those building blocks in place? And so I got really nervous, and I wanted to make sure that I was working with an accredited school, and I also didn't want to be in charge of the timeline, because if there was like a really cool hike or a science lesson, the cool hike would always come in first. And so recognizing my weaknesses was really important. So that's where we started hunting.
And so that reminds me, and you've heard me say this at least once before, that education is important, but camping is important. We went through the commencement process yesterday. What was really cool about Whitmore School's graduation is that it's an online school, but there's still a graduation experience. And that's why we're out here in West Virginia, because this is where the school was founded. And so maybe half of the graduating class flew in to West Virginia. And what was neat about that, from my perspective, is that we got to hear directly from the students and why they were attending.
Yes.
And so I think there's a myriad of reasons why a student would choose an online school like Whitmore.
Or anything alternative to the traditional route.
Yeah, but I think there were a few that stood out. There were a lot of students that were elite dancers, athletes, entrepreneurs. There were some entrepreneurial high school students that were kind of already doing their thing. They're already like pursuing their life's work. They just needed to fit school in and around their very busy schedule. So that stood out. There were kids that, well, like us, there were some other full-time families there. There were some RV families that were not full-time, but just looking for alternatives, flexibility in their schedule. There were also students that it just didn't, like the traditional high school experience it wasn't a fit.
So there were a few things that I really appreciated about the school, and I'll share them with you. First of all, it's mastery based. And so it's not you hand something in and you get a grade. You hand something in and you have this sounding board of professional educators that say, that's really cool. Have you thought about this? Where are your resources? The sentence structure on this probably needs to be shaped. And so that really reflects real life, in my opinion, because you never hand something in perfect the first time. You have a sounding board, you have bosses, you have employees, you have a group of friends that you say, hey, I'm thinking about this, and then you get ideas and you mold and shape and you evolve into something great. Another thing that I liked were there were 2 tracks, a general studies and an advanced placement. Both were accredited. I think that you should be speaking the language of your next destination. So let me put that in better terms. If you're going to college, you need to have something that college says, oh, you did those classes? Come on in, instead of, no, let me explain. It was all legit. So that was one thing that was a concern for me. And I really loved that Caleb had personalized attention. He wasn't in a sea of students, even though there are a lot of students that attend. He was part of something, but got individualized treatment. So he had a one-on-one relationship with every teacher that he spoke with, that he was turning assignments in. And so he knew that he was being held accountable by someone other than me.
We did it.
Well, that you weren't involved.
The tassel's worth the hassle. It's a sticker.
Good one, Mom.
Thank you.
Good one, Mom.
Okay, and there's one thing that I goofed on as a mom of 3 with all different education, is that we did not capitalize on dual enrollment. Caleb should be done with at least the first year, if not the second year of college, so that when you go into college, you're not wasting your time or money on classes that you could have taken in high school. And here's a tip if you're trying to sell this to your kids, is that maybe they have time to take a little bit of time off before they go to school, or they get a year afterwards. Because I know for Victoria, by the time she reached 21, she was like, I am so done taking school, and yet she still had another year. And if we had had the forethought, it would be over. And so anyway, I just want to give you that piece. So if there's any way that you can do that, you can usually take the classes for free or at a limited cost, a lower cost, and then you're not subjecting yourself to those basic 101 English and basic math. You just either get yourself tested out of them, or you take dual enrollment so your college years are shorter, more concise, and
less
they get
expensive.
to the point, and less expensive. I goofed. I don't want you to.
See, they're going to school, Trish. Those little baby geese. Little baby geese are going to school.
Baby geese are going to school. Okay, so I wish that when I was going through this process, someone told me that nothing's ever perfect. There are all kinds of alternatives. You're never gonna find the one perfect answer, but you're gonna find something that checks a lot of the boxes. And don't be scared, because you've been raising this family and you've made lots of choices. And when something was good, you really leaned into it. And when something wasn't working, you reevaluated and changed. And this is not different. And so take the leap. You know what's right, and you know if something's working or not. And I just want to give you that encouragement, because I really wish that someone said, this isn't working, Trish, and maybe there's a different answer. And that was way before we started RVing.
Like Trish said, we did this video because we knew that there was a family out there that this would make an impact, and we thought it was important enough to share. And we also like sharing the milestones of the kids.
Yes.
So we got another one. We're pretty close to leaving the nest.
The last one, but before we leave, we want to share with you a little montage that this guy made of the king of one-liners.
All right, would you?
What?
Would you mind to hold my chicken nugget?
Yeah.
Thank you. Ah, oh my gosh, this is so cool.
Isn't it cool?
Oh my gosh.
I tell you,
Oh.
someone is a sucker for natural spring water, huh?
That's right.
This has to be one of my favorite places I've ever been to.
Yeah, for sure.
Trish, is it level?
Not with that
We're just gonna have to move our belt.
You see my boy Abe up there?
Which can be in. Oh, stop. Okay.
This was the role I was born to play.
All right, now that we got the horn out of the way.
This is the setup. This is it. I'm going.
It's not a
That's
dog.
a human with a rare hair disorder.
Simone, today's the day I became a man.
I think I might remember that for the rest of my life.
I think you might.
I thought my experience at Whitmore was supreme because it was the only place, it was the only school that we've ever done that you could actually do it like anytime or anywhere, you know? Because all the other online schools are like, oh, you can, it's on your hours as long as you show up on these hours. And it's like, wait a second. What I like is that what you put into it, you get out of it. So if you want a super engaged teacher, then talk, or if you want your teachers, if you want to be super engaged with your teachers, just be super engaged with your teachers. Like your teachers are already engaged, but like if you want extra support, just talk to your teachers about it.
Got it. Yeah.
So, yeah.
All right, cool. And by the way, you should know that we don't have there's no affiliation with Whitmore. They're not like a sponsor or anything. It's just who we chose and had a great experience, and we've recommended other RV families, and they've come back to us and said they've had a great experience. So we have no hesitation sharing.
Well, Matthew was there. And
That's true. Matt was there, and it's not for everybody. It's not for everybody because you'd have to have certain needs and things like this, and taking a alternative approach to high school is certainly not for everyone.
Right.
But those who it is for, we had a great experience, and we thought we would share. And now we got to go back to the airport, and then get on a plane and go pick up Charlie. Anyway, so Charlie's having a good time too.